What's up, everyone? Welcome back or welcome. This is your first visit. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt. On this channel, I review brand new cars. Today, I'm at the new Hanania Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Palm Coast, Florida with this brand new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L that has been refreshed both on the outside and inside and a huge change underneath the hood. And today, we're going to explore it together from the exterior, interior technology, and a test drive. If you like watching more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification icon, and give me a like. Now, let's get back to this. Before we dive into this particular one, let's talk about the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was first introduced in 1992 and started production in 1993. So it's been around for a very, very long time. Now, fast forward to 2021, we got an introduction of the Jeep Grand Cherokee L, which is essentially an extended version of the Grand Cherokee with the third row seat. And for 2026, we have its first mid-cycle refresh. Let's take a look and see what's going on the exterior. If you like the color of it, they call it red velvet pearl coat, and it looks really good, especially with the combination with this altitude package that gives you all of those black or dark gray accents on the exterior. Now, Jeep claims they redesigned the lights, but the only thing I see, it's slightly different LED lights and daytime running lamps. We still have the reflector LED lights as far as the headlamps, and right at the bottom we have a set of LED fog lamps as well. Now we have some shiny black, some matte black, some gunpowder color at the bottom here, and it's so typical to the brand 7-slot vertical grille that's kind of framed in with this pretty cool trim. Underneath here we have the shiny black Jeep that's spelled out on top of the hood, and let's pop it open because there's some huge change underneath it. And here you find a new 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged Hurricane engine, producing 324 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. It has made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle has that Quadra-Track 1 4-wheel drive system. So if you want the Pentastar, which was the base engine for the Grand Cherokee L since its inception, you can still get it, but you can only get it on the Laredo and Laredo X, which are the two base trims. Everything else comes standard with this Hurricane 4-cylinder turbocharged 2-liter engine. Now, I haven't driven it, to be honest with you, so I'm going to give it a try. And it seems like Jeep jumped on the bandwagon of most of the other manufacturers going with the 4-cylinder turbos instead of the naturally aspirated V6s. Now we have the hood struts on both sides, some sound insulation. Definitely going to check out the quietness of the cabin and the ride quality at the end of this video. But before we do all that, let's talk about the dimensions. We have the overall width, 84.6 inches, height at 71.5. We have the ground clearance, about 8.5 inches on this limited trim. It goes up to 10.9 if you get the top of the line with the air suspension. The total length of this vehicle, 204.9, and the wheelbase, 121.7. Now, this limited trim sits on 20-inch rims, but because we have this altitude package, they've been upgraded to this shiny black wheels. Size of the tires are 265 by 50 on 20-inch rim, and we have this matte black cladding that continues around the wheels and at the bottom of this vehicle. This one also features the black side steps and the black Grand Cherokee badge. Now the mirrors are heated. They also have the turn signals, blind spot assist. They are not power folding mirrors. Right on top of the windows, you see this polished aluminum, or more like a gunpowder metallic trim. Everything else is blacked out. We also have the black low-profile roof rails and a dual pane panoramic sunroof on this particular one. The gas tank door is on the driver's side, and let's move over to the back and let's see what's going on here. Now, I don't see any changes in the back of this vehicle. As you can see, this still features the all LED light setup right here in the back, including the tail lamps, reverse lights, and the turn signals, with a 4x4 on one side, Jeep spelled out right there in the middle. Now, this one doesn't have the trim, which would be displayed here. Limited, it has the limited trim delete for some reason, and the towing capacity up to 6,200 pounds. We have the exposed wiper, third brake light, and let's pop this gate open. Oh, let's see what's going on the interior. We have the power lift gate. Here behind the third row seat, you have just over 17 cubic feet of room, which is not the biggest in its segment. And let's see what's going on. Bit more storage underneath here. You can access your spare tire through here and lower it down because it is underneath the vehicle. You have the ability to close the gate and set the height of it. And we have some more illumination. Now, 12-volt power outlet. And let's fold these seats down. Let's see what's going on here. All right, well, that's more like it. If you need more cargo space, you can fold them down. And the third row, passengers can enjoy their own USB Type-C, USB Type-A, cup holders, their own ventilation, illumination right there as well. And what it looks like is the camera here in the back for the third row seat. We'll check that out in a minute. And if you folded all the seats down, you're going to have just about 84.6 cubic feet of total cargo room. Now, let me jump inside the third row seat, see if I can even fit in there. And let's check it out. Getting into the third row seat, two ways. Of course, this one has the captain chairs in the middle, so you can easily walk right in between them. But if you wanted to fold this seat, all you do is just lift it up, move it out of the way. It gives you plenty of space to get into the third row seat. And we have this side step, so you can step on it and getting in the third row seat. Now, I'm 6 feet tall. As you can see, I have plenty of headroom, decent amount of shoulder room. Now, there are 2 seats and 2 seat belts only. So unlike some of the other midsize SUV, this is a 6-passenger configuration in this particular vehicle. Now, as far as the legroom, let's see if I can move it all the way back. I probably can't. Yeah, now if I just moved it as such, that would be plenty of room. But this seat has another 2-3 inches of room. Let's check this out. Yeah. And as I said, this is with the seat all the way back. Now I'm touching, I would still be able to fit, but not very comfortably. And this is definitely designed for smaller people or children. And with the seat all the way back, now in the second row seat, there's plenty of room. I can even recline. Now, I'd feel sorry for the person in the back if I sat like this, but plenty of headroom, shoulder room, knee room. All of that is all good. I can even move just a little bit to make sure that the person in the back has enough space. In terms of the rest of the interior, let's start with this rear door panel. And then we have the soft touch material right on top. We have some faux wood trim and polished aluminum trim. I believe there is some illumination underneath, yes. So we have the lock and unlock and the window control here. This is all, they call it the Capri leatherette when wicker beige color. And then down at the bottom, we have more storage. And before I show you the seats, let's take a look at this. We have an additional vents for the passengers on the sides, in addition to what's going on the middle console, some seat back storage. In the middle console, you can control your own climate settings, including the heated seats in the back, additional vents. We have the regular household style outlet plus 2 USB Type-C ports and the cup holders. So that's what's going on right here in the back. In terms of the seats, this is the Capri leatherette, which is the man-made leather. Some people call it vinyl, some people call it all different kinds of stuff, but it's not real leather. And I don't think there's an option to update to real leather. You can update to premium leatherette on this trim. Beige is the color of it. They're decent. Okay, we have the armrests on the side. Let's see what's going on in the front. Starting with the sound of the closing door from the exterior. All right, not bad. And here's what's going on. So first of all, similar setup as in the back, but in addition, we have 2 memory seat settings. And we have the mirror, window, lock controls, same material, same everything as in the back. Let's move over and see what's going on as far as the seats. Both driver and passengers have the 8-way power adjustment on the seats, slightly more bolstered as far as the sculpture of the seat, but not super sporty or anything like this. There shouldn't be. I mean, it's a regular family SUV. Now on the left hand side of the steering wheel, this is where you control your lights, your dimmer, and your light height. Now here's you pull on for the electronic parking brake. This is of course your hood release, and then we have the tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Let me jump inside. I'll show you the rest of this interior. We're going to start the interior tour with the sound of the closing door from the inside. Okay, not bad. So here's what's going on this 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited. This is the L, which is the 3-row version. Let's take a look. So we have the nice and soft touch material on top. We have kind of this matching leatherette right here in the front, the faux wood trim, polished aluminum, some illumination underneath. We have vents on the sides and in the middle, except the vents are right on top of here, which is really nice and powerful. I'm actually enjoying this nice air conditioning here in this vehicle. We'll get to the screens in just a moment, and then we'll take a look at the steering wheel. So we have this polished aluminum trim, leather wrapped. We have the stitching on the inside that's thicker in the right spots. We have the pedal shifters, Jeep that's spelled out, and then we have a bunch of controls on the right and the left hand side. Now the right hand side controls basically the cruise control and the adaptive cruise control, as well as the lane keep assist. So this is the lane detection also, so that's going to try to keep you in the center of the lane. Now this is basically up, down, scroll, and then several different configuration. And this is typical Chrysler product or Jeep product, so it has tons of abilities in terms of customizing this. So you can see what can be displayed right there in the middle. And if you see the arrows up and down, that's because we have several options on it too. So like in this case, it's going to be the distance between you and the car in front of you. In this case, the average miles per gallon, or the air pressure, or the oil life, or the battery voltage, or the PSI of the oil, so the oil pressure, temperature of the oil. So I mean, depending on what you want, temperature of the transmission, and then here's your coolant temperature. So depending on what you want displayed, that can be displayed right here in the middle, and then you just select it. Now we have several different options in terms of the display as well. High pressure, oil life. Here's everything that can be displayed in here. And then let's get out of here. And we can just kind of go up and down in here and see what's playing, what needs to be changed. Like right here, it says messages, audio, off-road settings, trip info, vehicle info, driver info, speedometer, and this is the standard speedometer that you have. So on the left hand side, tachometer, right hand side, speedometer, temperature displayed. We have the miles per hour. You can press OK to switch to kilometers, and everything is displayed right in front of me. Now this is love or hate it, because as you can see, there is a little bit of light coming in from the left, and there it produces the glare. That's on the instrument cluster. It's even worse here in the infotainment system. So I'm going to try to find an angle to show you that. And let's just turn this on. So you have the Jeep, and now we have the radio, and this is that new Uconnect system. But before we get to that, I almost forgot. So the safety features are right on top of here. So this is your engine start stop button. You can turn that off. Lane keep assist, traction control, hazard lights, and you can turn off your parking sensors. And this is the 12.3-inch screen for the infotainment system. Here's your home button. You can customize those widgets. You can add the widgets. As you can see, I can put the plus button, and we can set whatever we want. If you want a climate control, great. We're going to put climate control in here. We're going to put another widget in here. What else would you want on here? Let's say seats and wheels. Okay, if you do some of the off-road terrain settings, you can add another page to it. And again, this is the layout where you can add some widgets. So we can put that in and put the pitch and roll, let's say. So then you can see how the vehicle is standing. So that's very much customizable. I actually like it in terms of that. And surprisingly, some of the other Chrysler products that I've been working with and reviewing has some lag to it. Now this one seems to react pretty quickly to the touch. So we have media, in terms of the radio, FM, Sirius XM, AM, comfort. So the climate control, you can also connect your phone to it. It's not paired right now. The vehicle settings. You have the fam cam, which is the one in the back, as I was pointing out when I was looking at the camera. So if you have the kids in here, okay, you can see if they're behaving also in the back seat. So close that out, and let's move over to the third row headrest fold. That's a pretty cool feature, especially you don't have to reach out all the way there, and the headrests are folding down. And without putting it in reverse, we can also check out the rear view camera, and it has the trajectory line. Now this one doesn't have a 360, decent quality camera. That's, pretty much it. Now, do we have a different angles? No, but you can actually zoom it in if you are towing something. Now, in terms of apps, there you go. You can add some off-road pages, Alexa, device manager, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, that type of stuff. And then the navigation that's built in. So that comes standard with the navigation. Of course, if you don't like using it, you can use Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. On the left-hand side, on this bezel right here, you have the shortcuts for your heated seats, heated steering wheel. You can also mute it, turn off the volume, or you can actually turn off the screen if you don't want this on. Tap the screen to go back on. Now, underneath here, you have a stripe of buttons here. This is for your climate control. And now the start-stop engine is right there in the middle of this kind of bezel around this. Okay, you can open this up, and you have your power station. Now, what do we have here in terms of this power station? USB type A, USB type C, two sets of it. You have the auxiliary outlet, 12-volt DC power outlet. Now, does that have the wireless charging pad? Here, this is a testing point right here. I don't see anything that's marked as a charger. So, yep, I'd say that it does not have the wireless charging pad. Okay, but moving down here, a lot of fingerprints on it already, and this is a brand new vehicle, so better bring your cleaning cloth with you. And this is your rotary shifter for your transmission. So of course we have the regular gears, and here on the side you can also select the auto, sport, sand, mud, and snow. Those are your different drive modes. I'm going to leave it in auto. And here we have the keys for this vehicle, the key fobs. So those been for a while, for probably since the vehicle was manufactured in 2021 in terms of the Grand Cherokee L. Lock, unlock 2 times to start the vehicle, 2 times to open the gate, your panic button. And yes, it does have the physical key on the inside. So if you are stuck somewhere, it has the key that you can put in the keyhole and open the vehicle if your battery dies. So 2 cup holders. Okay, we have the dual storage compartment. This one is pretty deep, actually, and up on top. We have anything as far as the mirror? No, there's no digital mirror. And in terms of the sunroof control, we can open up just the cover, or you can open the panoramic sunroof, slide it open, allowing some air to get inside of this vehicle. And we have this nice windscreen as well. Now, is this the one-touch operation? It says auto. Every time I let go, it stops. So I kind of have to hold it. Maybe there is a setting here somewhere. And then other than that, this is where you open your rear hatch. And then we have the ability to control how the lights go on and off, whether it's manually or when the doors are open. And here are the LED lights. You have the home link system for your garage door, and then you have the illuminated mirror in the visors. And this is it. This is the interior of this 2026 refreshed Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Let's talk pricing. Take it for a spin. And in terms of pricing, there are 7 different trim levels. Now, the Grand Cherokee is available as a 2-row, which is just a regular Grand Cherokee, and the Grand Cherokee L, which is a 3-row. We're going to focus on the 3-row only. So the 3-row Laredo starts at $40,920 and $2,000 more for the 4-wheel drive, because that's a 4x2. Now, that one still comes standard with the 3.6 Pentastar engine. Same thing with the Laredo X. Those are the only trim levels that come standard with the Pentastar engine. Now, the 3-row with the 2-wheel drive, $43,415, and the 4-wheel drive, 45,415 in terms of Laredo X. Now the Laredo Altitude is the one that starts with the 2-liter 4-cylinder Hurricane, and that one with the 2-wheel drive 46,360, 4-wheel drive 48,360. A Limited, the one that I'm sitting in right now, if it was a 2-wheel drive, it would be 46,320, but because we have the all-wheel drive, 48,320. Now the MSRP on this particular one is just over $52,000 because we have this Altitude package, and I'll put everything in the description of this video. Now there is also an 85th anniversary edition, and that's 50,415, or I'm sorry, 52,415, because that's a 3-row, only available as a 4x4 and only available with this 2-liter engine. Limited reserve 53,915, again 4x4 only, and the same thing with the Summit 3-row, only available in 4x4. Now that's 62,600. Now it's kind of a shame that we don't have more engine options, and I get it, you know, it is the new age, the new era, and a lot more manufacturers are switching to the 4-cylinder engines. However, choices is all that there is. They have the Pentastar that they produced, the 11 million of them over the years. They've been putting them in the Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers. They even put it in the ProMasters and stuff. So yeah, this engine has been proven, and a lot of people like it. I'm not sure if Jeep is not shooting themselves in the leg by providing a only engine option, especially on certain trims that are higher trims, which is where people have money and they have more choices. Let me know what you think about this. Now let's take it for a spin. Okay, as the sun is out, let's get some shades on. Let's take it for a quick test drive. We're going to be able to check out the driving dynamics of this Grand Cherokee L with this completely brand new powertrain. Now on paper it is more powerful and has more torque than the 3.6 Pentastar, but you know, what you see on paper versus how it translates into reality is not always the same. Merging in traffic. Okay, not bad, not even very loud. You get that torque at the low end, which is good. Once you step on it, you can definitely hear the engine working to get this vehicle moving. It is a heavy vehicle for a 4-cylinder engine. Once you get it going, it's super nice and quiet. We're cruising at 60 miles an hour right now, and yeah, there's very little engine noise coming into the cabin. We have some road noise coming in, but that's probably because this road that we're on right now is not the best quality. If you want to step down and lay down on it, definitely, there you go. You can hear it, and you can hear it working quite hard to get this vehicle moving. You know, this is the trend, unfortunately, and it seems like every manufacturer right now is starting to go with the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine versus the naturally aspirated V6. We've seen most of the domestic have the standard 4-cylinder that includes, of course, the Ford. Now we have the Chevy Traverse, we have the Buick and the GMC. All of them come standard with the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now we're going to turn this quickly around and see if we can speed up here. Okay, it definitely gets out of its own way. So the acceleration is not an issue. We'll see how the rest of it's gonna pan out. Now I'm gonna find a stretch of open road somewhere here, which we're gonna be able to stop and do the full acceleration test, get it up to maybe, you know, 50 or 60 miles per hour, and see how that vehicle will handle there. And here's a perfect opportunity, guys. There's nobody in front of us, there's nobody behind us. I'm stopped. Let's hit it. Okay, we have some buildup of that turbo, but right now we're at 50 and 60. So yeah, I mean, it goes, it moves. It is a little bit loud once it accelerates. When it gets up to speed, that all disappears. So I guess maybe just getting used to it, or going for the lesser trim and loading it up with options like the Laredo or Laredo X and getting the Pentastar. Now, remember when they first came out, they also had the V8 available, which would be really nice on the higher trim levels if they gave you some more engine options, especially on the Summit Reserve. They put that V8. I've tested one of them, and that was a sweet ride with the V8 engine. In terms of the ride quality, the suspension is on the stiffer side, which is good. That's the way I like it. I'm in the auto mode, and let's put it in sport mode, see what else happens. Yep, it gets louder, the steering wheel gets a little bit heavier. The suspension, there's no difference because it's not an air suspension on this one. So, I mean, there's really nothing that can be done on this. But overall, not bad. A little bit too much road noise. But again, I'm not sure whether it's from this particular road or that's just the way it feels. But are these dual, they feel like a dual pane glass. So that should be well insulated here. So here it is, guys, 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. That Jeep make a right decision to go with the 4-cylinder engine as their main powertrain for majority of the trim levels. Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let's get this conversation going in the comment section. I think time will tell. I'd much rather see the naturally aspirated V6, maybe a V6 or inline 6 like they have in really nice inline 6 with the standard output as an optional engine, especially on those higher trim levels. For someone who appreciates the acceleration, the power, and the ride quality of a larger displacement engine, also the quietness of the cabin, I think I would be the one spending a little bit more money and opting in for that engine option. Let me know your thoughts. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video is helpful. I hope you learned something about this brand new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. And if you did, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel for more automotive content, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.